Welcome, Debs Cooper, global stressologist. Thank you for joining me here today. Welcome. Woo! Today, I think I say this every time. I'm sure I say this on my podcast as well. It's going to be a goodie. Today, I'm going to share you tips to living beyond perfection's grip. Now, I didn't say perfectionist's grip. I just said tips to living beyond perfection's grip. Whew. Thank you for joining me. Drop in the chat if this is a hashtag replay. That would be really great to know. And also where you are in the world, I love seeing. Oh boy. My tips today are in no particular order whatsoever. So we're going to crack on with them. So grab yourself a note-taking device. I personally prefer pen or pencil, whatever works for you. But if you're driving, please don't take notes. Just take the mental notes. So tips to living beyond perfection's grip is a heavy one. But first I'll actually say, if you're struggling, you are not alone. And, we've got someone local. Hi, Wilhelmina. Thank you for joining. You are not alone on this journey, because there are so many people who do this, who can take them off kilter. It can take you to stress. You know what happens when you get stressed? You go into overwhelm, and then you go into burnout, and then you feel like you're not enough. And the truth is, then literally nothing happens. You go into that freeze state. And it's a common struggle. It's a common struggle that affects so many people from all walks of life. It doesn't matter if you're young, old, male, female, anything like that. You are actually, I don't even like saying you're common, but guess what? You're common. You're common. And it can actually put you on the journey that you just keep going until you get to that point of burnout. And it just brings up, I'm inadequate. I can't even do anything. There's no point in doing anything. This is where I'm at. And that's really an icky place to be. So let's get into these. I don't even want to talk about the pain points of where it is, because it's just, we know, you know where your journey is, you know where yours, we all have our own. So let's crack onto this. But we'll say that you are human. That's my main one. So number one, remember these are in no particular order, is embrace the wobbles. And when I say embrace the wobbles, I'm saying view the wobbles as experiences. So something happens, you're like, oh, this is interesting. What's happening here? Or this feels yuck. I'm not saying learning. No, I didn't say learning. This is actually experience opportunities. So when you note the wobbles as an experience, it's not heavy already. You can just go, oh, this is an experience. This is something. So when you say learning, oh, I learned from that experience, or I learned from that lesson, it just, to me, it sounds like you're being punished in school. So I just do it to an experience. So it's an experience that's an opportunity to grow. So take note of them. And I'm a firm believer of, when you have these wobbles, that you actually take note of them, but you don't store them in your head. Because when you're still storing them in your head, they're still up there jumping around from left to right, right to left, all over the place. So when you actually acknowledge your wobbles, when you can see these experiences and acknowledge these wobbles, you can look at how to tweak them. But if you can look at, everything is about growth. Everything is about growth and moving forward. The other tip I'm going to say is, one of my common ones is set realistic goals. Realistic. The word there is realistic. Now, if you ask my dad will often say I don't live in a realistic world to society. Thank you, Father. But I'm saying set realistic goals. And when you're shooting for something, when you're shooting for progress, we're going for progress over perfection. And when you go for progress over perfection, there is also a different vibe within you that allows you to move forward. So when you're going for those realistic goals, ensure that they're challenging enough. They're challenging enough, but not to burn you out, but they're actually attainable. So don't do something that's going to be so unrealistic if you're going to set a goal for your perfectionism. Something that's going to be so out of bounds for you that you've never done before, and there's no way you even know how to do it, and you're just going to Google and get through. That's great, but make sure they're challenging but actually attainable, not just a crazy idea that you've got for that. And I often talk about eating an elephant. which I think I talked about the last one. It's not that I'd want to eat an elephant, but how to eat an elephant when you're doing realistic goals is one bite at a time. One bite at a time, one step at a time. Focus on that. So here's your journey, one step at a time. So much easier to get through on everything. Know that nothing is set in concrete. Nothing is set in concrete. And if you think it is, well, you can break concrete. Might be a challenge, but you can still break concrete. So nothing, don't let everything set that you actually can't change it and never will. The next tip I'm going to talk about is self-love. Self-love. And I really would like to encourage people to be gentle on themselves. There's so much I hear from people. Even yesterday I went out and I was in a shop and the lady's going, I'm so dumb, I'm doing this, and why is this getting to me, and it happens to me, and she was so hard on herself. I didn't even know what she had done. Would say I had to refrain from actually going over and asking her if she wanted some help. But she was in such a state, and her energy, I felt love for her. So be gentle on yourself. Doesn't matter what you've done or not done. We're all worthy of love out here. So give yourself some self-love. Acknowledge the steps that you've come into. Acknowledge the steps that you're taking. Because if you're not loving yourself, it's going to send that out to the icky world out there, and you're going to have some real heavy stuff coming back to you. The next tip I'm going to say is limit your comparisons. Now, when I say limit your comparisons, I said limit comparisons. I want you to focus on your journey. And when I say focus on your journey instead of comparing yourself to others. I encourage you to check them out. Definitely check them out if you want to check them out, but don't let it get into your head. Don't let it get into that crazy head of you. And if you struggle with even limiting your comparisons, if you even struggle with that you're going to get on someone and you're going to research them and you're going to go down this journey, then just don't do this tip. Just don't even limit your comparisons. For you, if you struggle with that, no comparisons. That's it. No comparisons. But if you can, that's fantastic. But just know that everyone is different and you are unique in your way. Like me, I'm unique in my way. You're unique in your way. The next one is celebrate. We're all about celebrating, I'm sure. So celebrate those wins. And they don't have to be small or big. It can just be any win. Now, the truth is, when you fall over, that's actually a win as well, by the way. So I'm not saying celebrate your wins and losses. Everything's a win when you know how to flick your mind onto that stuff. So celebrate all wins. And some people call it rewards. Celebrate your rewards. Give yourself a reward. Whatever you want to do. I just call it celebrate. So celebrate your progress along the way, but recognize that each step that you do forward is a yay moment. Yay, yay, yay. That's it. But don't let those yay moments go on for too long, because there's stuff to be done. Clearly there's stuff to be done. So just be aware of that and focus on what you have achieved rather than what you haven't, which is my favorite saying, focus on the flowers over the weeds. The next one, it's an F day, isn't it? A focus forward. My hands are freezing, by the way. That's why I've got this. I've got my hands are freezing if you see me rubbing them. Focus forward, focus forward, focus forward. It's focus, Deborah. Stay on the train. And I'll just do a quick shout out to the birthday boy from yesterday. Happy birthday, Hamish. My favorite little train driver in the world. Thank you. So focus forward and stay on that train. Not necessarily Hamish's train. So when I'm saying focus forward, I'm saying track your progress and recognizing any achievements, whether they're large or small, because it's all the achievements you do, all those steps forward that actually get you to your end result. And it's easier to keep moving than actually stop and then start again. And when you do the stop, because you will stop, there's going to be moments, just be aware that the stopping time will take a lot longer to get moving. So just put a time frame on that stop. Just put yourself a time. Look, I'm just going to take a couple of minutes out. I'm going to do this. I'm just going to stop right here. It's so overwhelming. Whatever you want, but just put that time frame on that. And my favorite, the Gambler, Kenny Rogers song. Know when to hold 'em and know when to fold 'em. That's it. Know when to walk away. That's it. The next tip I'm going to give you is riding the up level. Now, when I talk about the up level is practice. So think of it as a video game, and you're going to the next level. So where you're going, look at that, and look at where you're going in that video game. So I'm going to say thanks, Doug, for that wording on the video game up leveling. I like that. So when you're focusing on that video game and you're going to the next level, that's all you're doing. So you're riding that up level. So you're shooting for progress, not perfection. Because when you shoot for progress, perfection actually happens. Perfection actually happens. And like I said before, ensure that these things are challenging for you and attainable, but not burnt out material. Not totally burnt out that you're actually just going to get so frazzled by whatever it is. The next one is, are you doing this for someone else or for you? And it's a real clear one. You know, if you're self-employed, you're often doing things for yourself, or you have clients or whatever it is. So just check in and see if this is actually you doing this for yourself or someone else, because obligation is really, really, really heavy. And if you find you're doing it because it's a paid task, I understand that. Or if it's a satisfaction task, or it's an obligation task, just check in and see where that is. And that's just like, is this for me or is this for somebody else? That's it. It's as quick as that. And it allows you to look at what's really, truly important to you. My next tip is trust. And when I say trust, I'm talking about trusting yourself, trusting others, and trusting the universe. And know that every problem, there is a solution. So when we say trust, Moira, my podcast buddy, actually says trust is an inside job. Thanks, Moira. And it is. It's in here. So you're going to remind yourself of the strengths and abilities that have got you to who you are today. Remind yourself of the strengths and abilities that have got you to who you are today. And just being aware, self-awareness is really helpful. Check in with yourself, make sure you're on path, but don't be obsessed with your checking, because if you're finding I'm checking in and checking in, checking in, you're actually taking yourself off task. So keep yourself focused and check in with yourself, but don't let that derail your train. The next one I'm going to talk about is taking breaks or pauses. Breaks isn't really a word I like to use, because I always think, take a break, and I think, oh no, I'm going to break my arm or something like that. I go to the extreme when I hear that word. So take the break or the pauses, but don't do everything at once. So, you know, we talked about eating the elephant one bite at a time. Set those realistic time frames, and remember to put in breathing times. Remember to put in breathing times, or lunch break, or garden times, or whatever it is. We all know what happened in 2020. 2020 was the year of the pivot. So when I'm saying taking breaks and pauses, remember that it's okay to pivot and take that pause and step back and reassess what's going on in your world. Like again, nothing is set in concrete. Nothing is set in concrete. Gratitude. Straight into it. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. I encourage you to do daily gratitude. I encourage you to do wake up in the morning gratitude, throughout the day gratitude, at the end of the day gratitude, when you get into bed gratitude. And gratitude is literally just, oh, what am I thankful for? I woke up this morning and it's a frosty outside and we've got a fire in our house. Grateful for that. Grateful I could get out of bed. I was awake to light the fire before the dogs got up. Yes, because that's what I do. Am I grateful for that? Yes, I am, because I see the dogs happy. They don't pester me and the house is warm. So think about those things you're grateful for on this. Just know you're amazing, even on those days you don't think you're amazing, because you are an amazing human being. You're still here in this world doing whatever it is for you. You can keep a gratitude journal to track things that you're thankful for. And the other one I can just do is just literally hand on heart. Just hand on my heart, and I think about something I'm thankful for. And I can be doing a chaotic task. And when I talk about this pausing, just hand on my heart and I just go, oh, I'm thankful that I'm still functioning in this world with all this head chaos going on. Or I'm thankful that I'm functioning right here and I'm in my office with the door shut and the dogs aren't getting to me. Or I'm thankful that even though we had a frost outside, I've now got the sun coming through. Whatever those things are, these are the things that keep you moving in your world. And you know what I'm going to say with my next thing? It's the old glitter. Glitter, 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 glitter. Do what you love. Glitter bomb yourself. Glitter bomb yourself everywhere you go. Whatever that is that lights you up. Light a candle. Put your favorite lipstick on. Go for a drive. Walk outside. Stay inside. Hide in the toilet from the kids. Whatever it is, find a nice spot that makes you feel just delicious and warm and cozy inside. Read a book. Put on a song. I had a funky song yesterday and I just had it blasting in my office. It just gave me a completely different vibe. Whatever it is, engage in something that brings you joy and glitter. Now, Mila just comes on. Thankful for your videos and knowledge. Thank you, Mila. I actually have to giggle because I just put joy in for you, because that's a word that Mila uses often, is joy. So engage in those activities that bring you joy and that give you that little spark inside, and glitter, of course. Now, we all have past memories, past experiences, past things in the past that just feel icky. So be aware of them, acknowledge them. Yes, this is what's happened. Sure, you may have mucked up, but did you get through it? Yes. And it might have hurt a few people around in your mind, any of those things, but it actually won't be as bad as what you think. There is absolute gifts in every situation, even those lopsided ones. There's gifts in it. And to find those gifts, you just have to get present and get grateful for what's going on around you. But you can't change the past. It's really important to know that you can't change the past, but you can move forward in what you're doing. And the last one is me. Debs is here. Grab out my card here. Debs is here. That's me. All this here. Let me connect you back to your heart. This is it. I've been in this business for 18 years. I've been a problem solver for, probably pretty much all my life and all my jobs I've done prior to this job. I'm a global stressologist. I'm really great at what I do. You don't have to do this alone. I've been in a lot of different places that have got me out of, and I've got myself out of, and I've survived, and I'm here. So I'm honestly here for you. If there's any questions you have, or any tip that you loved the most, or any tip that you don't like the most, let me know. But I am here for you. Whew. That is my tips to living beyond perfection's grip. I would love to know what one you love the most. I would love to know what one you love the most right here, right now. Share that. And if there's any that I've missed that you use, what are those tips to living beyond perfection's? Tips to living beyond perfection's grip. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining me, Debs Cooper, Global Stressologist. And if you liked this, the next step is reach out. I'm going to put a comment in the chat with book a time with me. Just jump on a 15-minute call and let me see what I can do to help you. Thank you very much. Have an inspiring day wherever you are in this world, day or night. Thanks, Debs Cooper, Global Stressologist, signing off on tips to living beyond perfection's grip. Bye.